X is numbers of brothers and sisters. We're going to use the shortcut formula to estimate or get the variance. So what we're going to do is add all our x's together. So 0 plus 1 plus 3 plus 8 would be 12. This means now we're going to square that answer. We're going to divide by n. What does this tell us to do? Square the x's and then what? Then add them together. That's what that is. So square them and then you add them together. So these will be my x squareds here. 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 3 squared is 9, 8 squared, 8 times 8, 4. Add those together. That'll be the sum of the x squareds. What's that, 74? Okay. So again, we have 4 people, and equal 4. And we're going to assume that you 4 are just a small sample, and maybe we're studying all high schoolers at West Delaware. And we want to see how much variation there is in the family size, in numbers of brothers and sisters. These are numbers of brothers and sisters. So now we go to our formula, s squared. The sum of x squared. What number do I put in right there? 12. 12 or 74?
12.
This is the sum of my x's is 12. The sum of my x squareds is 74. So that would be 74 right there. What would I put in for the sum of my x's? That's 12. Then you're going to square that number. Divided by n, what's n? N is 4, right? Right there, 4 people. On the bottom, you're going to divide by 4 minus 1. So you're going to get 74 minus 144 divided by 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Use your calculator if you want. 144 divided by 4, that's, well, divided by 2, that's 72. Divided by 2 again, that's 36. 144 divided by 4 is 36. You don't have to show every step on your work. 74 minus 36, what's that? 38. And we're going to round, well, let's give me the whole decimal here. It's like 12 and 2/3 or something like that. 12.6 for B. That's your variance. Okay. Maybe I can go compare with high school kids in China. Okay. So I go to China and I do the same thing, and I go to a class in China. I get an interpreter, and I ask 4 kids, 4 people, how many brothers and sisters there are. Do you think China would have a higher variance or a lower variance?
Lower.
A lower. Why do you think? Reed, why do you think lower?
They have that one child back.
Yeah, most of their families only have 1 child. So they're probably going to be 0 or 1 or maybe 2 if they want to. They have to pay extra money to have a second kid or something. But yeah, so there's not going to be much variation in China because you're going to have a real low. Everybody's going to have a real low number of kids. Probably nobody with 8 kids in China. So they would have a much lower variation here. And realize this is an estimate. We're trying to estimate for the entire high school here. Now, to find S, which is called the standard deviation, just take the square root of that. So what's the square root of 12.66666? 3 point something probably. Let's round to the nearest 10th. Anybody? 3 point what? Square root of 12.666. 3.5. And the label on this would be siblings, or brothers and sisters. And our actual answer we want our final answer for the standard, or for the variance, would be 12.7 if we round it. So this is your variance. It's a sample variance. This is your standard deviation here. Sample standard deviation. Remember, we use Roman letters, which are basically look like our letters, for sample data. We use Greek letters, like mu, for population data, which are also called parameters. Now, what if I didn't want to do all that work? And I said, I didn't really need to know all that. All I wanted was an estimate. If you just wanted a quick estimate, then you use the range rule of thumb. The range. How do you find the range here? 8 minus 0. Yep, the highest value minus the lowest value. So 8 minus 0 would be 8, divided by 4. So that's estimating S to be about 2. Well, it's not, wasn't very accurate, was it? But it's, to give you an estimate anyway. So the range rule of thumb is a quick way to get an estimate. We estimated 2, it actually is 3.5. Any questions about that? This is a measurement of how far these are from the mean, on average. All right, let's move on then. Anybody want to ask anything else about yesterday's assignment?